Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Mike, Backwards Machining. I got a job in the shop. Um, the company is paying me to put holes in these plates. These are flanges. I'm not going to go into detail what exactly they're for or anything, but it's a very simple job. Straightforward. I have to drill a hole in the very center, just about 1.75 inches per se. Tolerance, not critical, doesn't matter. Essentially, something goes in here and gets welded. Easy enough, right? Here's the dilemma. I have 10 ways to do this. Fastest and easiest way would be the lathe. If I could put this in the lathe, easy peasy. But I cannot. This is a 9-inch diameter plate, 1 inch thick. So the biggest my chuck will go up to is 850, 8.25 open wise. So I can't put this in the lathe as is. Now there's a raised face here, but not enough to grab onto. The other thing I'm thinking, there's 8 holes that are all precise. I'm thinking if I can make a fixture, a round fixture with fingers that I could bolt this on to, chuck that in the lathe. But it seems like I'm just making a lot of work for myself. I've got 10 of these to do, and I'll probably get more in the future. I don't know how many, but I'm not doing hundreds of these things, but enough to be a pain in the neck, obviously. For now, what I'm guessing is I'm going to put them on my CNC mill and just let it do its thing with the hole in the middle. It's going to take longer doing it that way, but without a lathe big enough to do this on, I don't see any other better way to do it. I don't know. What do you guys think? So this is a jig that I'm making to try to put these on the lathe. Now essentially it's going to be just something to hold 2 holes, and I'm going to have a hole in the center so I can put that in the lathe chuck. I made this quickly. This helps me find center, so I can just prick punch it real quick instead of trying to figure out every time where the center is. This is the annular cutter I got. It's 1 3/4 inches. Unfortunately, in this machine, it vibrates like crazy. Something so simple as just drilling a hole in 1 inch thick steel. And bear in mind, this is high grade, high carbon steel. This isn't just cheap stuff, which does make this a little more tricky. But still, something as simple as just putting a hole in here. I gotta tell you, it's a real pain in the neck because I'm trying to find the fastest way to do this. And what I keep running into is the limitations of my shop with the little equipment I have. And what I mean by little equipment, I mean literally, you know, the bench top milling machine, etc., etc. I mean, don't get me wrong, I have that monster over there, and I actually thought about trying to use the annular cutter in that machine to see how it does. You know, we'll see what happens. I don't even know if that machine will go fast enough because that's a very slow machine. But, I mean, in any case, this is what I'm up against. It's going okay. Each one of these plates is taking me about 45 minutes to do. The guy at work says he puts them in the CNC lathe and they're done in 10 minutes. Now, obviously, his CNC lathe is a hell of a lot bigger than anything I got. I can't clamp this. So, my plan is to make a fixture that goes across. I can bolt it in the front, and there'll be a bar in the back that will go into the 3-jaw chuck. And it should always hold it on center. And as long as it's, you know, sturdy and I run the lathe slow, I should be able to use the lathe to find center, drill it, and bore it a lot quicker than I am trying to mill these things. Because I just can't see this going any faster the way I'm doing it. I've tried to pre-drill it, even up to 1 inch diameter hole, and it's still, I mean, it takes away some of the time, but then you have the time of doing the drilling and whatnot. So, I don't know. I'll keep you posted. This is what's going on. Probably be a part 2 to this because this is getting kind of crazy. But, alright guys, I'll catch you later.